How did the thought of cheating come into play? Like, so he ended the marriage. You're like, this doesn't make sense. And then when did you start feeling like, well, it must be someone else?
Well, when I was alone with my thoughts, I said, and then speaking to my parents, speaking to people who were rational, weren't in it, they were saying, you're not making sense. And I'm saying, I'm not holding anything back. I'm telling you what he said to me. So I was left in the house alone because he traveled, and a couple of times he decided he was going to stay in a hotel. And I made it very, try to make the situation amicable, the split.
Even at that point?
Even at that point, because I was in a position where I felt worthless. I felt nobody wants me. So here I am thinking, I'm this poor me. I had my pity party every night. So when I started looking around, everything was right there in the house. Because the reason why I said earlier that I never snooped around, because he knew that I trusted him. So everything he kept right there. And I found pictures in my home with him having sex with women before the marriage, during the marriage. Some had dates, so that's how I knew.
So how did you confront him, I guess is like my next question.
So I was the woman that somehow discovered the strength that I didn't think I had. And for a month, I kept everything to myself and relied on friends and family to kind of keep me a little bit grounded. Because I said, it was a struggle because I was in my house, I was in it, he wasn't there, so I was living it day in, every second. I couldn't think of anything else. I don't know how I worked because I continued going to work. So I kept gradually getting everything because I didn't want to let him know I was on to him.
Were you building your case? What was your goal?
My goal wasn't to build a case, more so it was to know, to get the answers that I needed for myself and to be able to move on, because I felt like he was cruel enough to let me believe the nonsense he told me. Like he was okay with me believing,
It's because you use my toothbrush.
whatever, and it just didn't make any sense. I mean, I'm sure I have other issues, like everybody does, but to give those reasons didn't make any sense. So, I kind of kept looking and looking and looking, and I did my major reveal in the therapist's office, just like he did.